Collector. Hopefully you guys had a great Saturday. Shout out to Pete Dorr. He was just doing a live, and I caught his live where he does like these live eBay like window shopping deals, and he's been doing them for a really long time. So shout out to him. I got to jump into one of his lives and uh, ask him some questions about certain retro games that I'm considering picking up through eBay. And he was able to give me just his 2 cents on certain like Super Nintendo games that I'm interested in picking up. So shout out to him. Just doing this live real quick, just to kind of recap one of my first, and I'm sure it won't be my last, video game trades slash beat-ups that I was able to complete today. I'm gonna show you what I got out of that pickup. This won't be a long live. Just gonna kind of show you guys what I got. But before I get into that, I did just want to show you that one of my favorite Sega CD games, I did get it back today, and that is Android Assault: The Revenge of Bari Arm for the Sega CD. This is one of my favorite shoot 'em ups for the Sega CD, and I don't think that this has been added to any type of compilation. I don't know if it's ever been re-released at all. So this was one that I was really glad to have back in the Sega CD collection. The Sega CD collection and the Sega Saturn collection, those are two collections that I'm going to have to slowly build, just because finding the games are very difficult and a lot of times they're often really expensive. So this was one that I was glad to have back into the collection. Now I'm going to kind of take you through really quickly what I was able to pick up today. And this might be the last of the pickups. I think I have like one more game on the way. But this might be the last of the pickups for a while. It's been a while since I've been able to kind of load up on some games. But I'll take you guys through and show you what I got this weekend. So what we got was I guess the dude that I picked this up from, according to him, this is a brand new NES control deck. It was a dude that I met on eBay, and he happened to actually live within reach to where we were able to meet up. He was a really cool dude. We were supposed to do a much bigger deal, but unfortunately, I was only able to walk away with 2 items. So shout out to him if he ever catches this live. I'm not gonna put him on blast, but he was a really cool dude from out here in Southern California, and we were able to do a quick deal. So the deal involved 3 games, 2 Switch games, a PlayStation 4 game, as well as cash. And so we were able to come to a deal on this basically new NES control deck. So I'm sure it's been opened. I'll open it with you guys now so you guys can see it. And then along with that was a very clean copy of Contra Force for the NES. I was really glad to have this back. Contra Force was one of the NES games that I sold in my old collection, so I was really glad to add this back to the collection. There's 2 games that I really need to get my hands on for the NES, and those are Shatterhand and Vice Project Doom and Ninja Shadow. Sorry, so I guess that's 3. Those are probably the last 3 NES games that I really want to get my hands on. If I can find Metal Storm, then that would be great. I did have a copy of Felix the Cat. That would be great to get back too. But to be honest with you, Metal Storm and Felix, and even Ninja Shadow, I got all those from GameStop. So those were ones that I'm hoping to be able to get back. I'm really just trying to build my collection, starting with the NES, because I've been having a lot of NES luck. So I'm not gonna fight the force. I'm just gonna flow with it. But yeah, so did get this copy of Contra Force. Now I'm gonna open this control deck. You guys can let me know if you think it's new. But he told me that this was a brand new NES top loader control deck. As you can see, the box does have some wear on it. If it is new, it's not going to be new for long because I am going to open this up and play it. So I'm not going to keep it like sealed and in the closet. I'm actually going to use this to test out all the NES games that I've recently purchased. So this is one side of the box, as you can see here. You've got the top side of the box. The box is in fairly good condition. It's not in horrible condition. The box is actually like in fairly good condition. You got this side of the box here, and then you've got the proof of purchase right here. So Nintendo customer service policy. So this is kind of unique. I don't know if I've ever seen something like this on the back of these boxes. So yeah, it looks like 11/2. This was purchased on November 2nd, 1993. Do not remove proof of purchase. So this is kind of something really, really old here. So, but let's go ahead and open it up. Let's open it up. Let's see what we're working with here. So we have the control deck. The styrofoam looks pretty good. So we'll see if it is how we're looking. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. Again, this is something that I plan on playing, so I'm not gonna keep this sealed. I'm going to be playing this weekend, as a matter of fact. Well, tomorrow. Tomorrow I plan on doing some grilling. Today was a really cool day. We spent like the whole day in downtown San Diego, and I'm gonna be dropping a video tomorrow, just recapping some of that. But today was pretty cool. So, but anyway, so let me go ahead and open this up. Let's see. Okay, so we've got it open here. We've got a good chunk of it out of the, so we got it out the box. Again, we'll take a look at the box. Let me catch up on some of these comments here. They all came in real quick. Skur, what's going on, man? He said, nice Contraforce. TT Breeze said, stroke it just to verify. Not really sure what that means. Did you know if you have a peanut allergy and you got hit by a truck, you will die? Don't really get that. Pretty clean. Smash it. Illest villain, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, so it looks like a bunch of trolls just entered the chat. So anyway, just another look at the box. The box is pretty clean. Looks pretty clean inside too. So you got the box right there. Then you have the console itself. So he said that he never really took the console out. So let's take a look and see how clean this console is. Now I've had a few of these top loaders. I've had a few of them, and the ones that I had were all pretty clean. This top loader looks pretty clean. It smells, I can tell you one thing, it definitely smells new. So this definitely smells new. And if you were born in like the 80s or the 90s and you know what it's like to open like a 90s anything out of its plastic wrap, this definitely has that new 80s, 90s smell. Like it has that old school, it has that old school plastic smell, and they just don't make plastic like this anymore. Like this is that durable plastic that could withstand like a nuclear blast. Like that's how tough plastic used to be back in the day. So this is actually it. I would believe that this is at least open box. I don't think that this is brand new, but I do think that it's open box, and this is a very clean top loader. Probably one of the cleanest top loaders I've ever had. I've had about 4 top loaders. This is definitely the cleanest. We'll set that to the side. We've got the wrapper there. Then we've got all of the manuals here. So the manuals are pretty, I'm not gonna take them out the plastic here, but the manuals are pretty clean. It's got everything in there. It's got all of the posters, all of that stuff is in there. I'm not gonna take it out right now. Maybe I'll take it out in a later video, but right now, I mean, it's got all the stuff in there. You've got this is, what is this? This the antenna. So thankfully, I have a flat screen TV that is just old enough. Like I think, so I have a Hitachi, I think, and my Hitachi, it is a flat screen, but it's probably one of the last generations of flat screens that still have the coaxial cable connection. So I will be able to hook this up to my TV. It's one of those flat screens that have the coaxial cable. It has the audio video, and it has the HDMI. So thankfully I am able to play like almost every console, whether it's retro or modern, on that TV. So this is good. And I mean, if you look, the coaxial cable looks very clean too. So I want to say that this is probably new. Probably is new. I doubt anyone's really played it. What do we have here? So here is where we have the, what is this? This is the power adapter. The power adapter, I mean, you can't see it through here, but the power adapter is really good. Looks pretty clean. So we got that. And then last but not least, this is the biggest one of all. You have the Wishbone controller. Now, the packaging of this controller doesn't look super new. It does look like it's been open. Sorry, I don't even have it in there for camera. It does look like it has a little bit of stuff going on here. So I don't know what happened with this controller, but the controller underneath does look fairly new. Doesn't really look like it's been touched much. And this is a genuine Wishbone controller. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I would say that this is probably a new console. It looks new. I'm not gonna put it all back because I am getting ready to open this up and play it tonight. I am gonna be playing a bunch of these Super Nintendo games that I got. And so if this was brand new, well, I just demoted this console to open box or complete in box because I will be playing it. I think with these retro consoles, like whenever, you know, resellers or people say that they're new, I mean, unless there's like tape on the box that has not been breached, then I just consider all of these consoles open box. Like I never really take them as brand new to me. They're never brand new, not to me. So that's part one. Part two, let me catch up on some of these Skirt says looks brand new. Yeah, I mean it does look brand new. He said that is for sure new. Nice pickup. First name first. Yeah, I mean it is new. I guess like it smells new. Like, I mean, if you look, there's like zero dust in the controller ports. There's like nothing in the crevices. If I open this up here, that's like clean. So it is new. I mean, you know, I'll break it in tonight. I'm gonna be breaking it in with some Contraforce, so that's for sure. Would you get Retron 5 so you have multiple cartridge slots to play like SNES, NES, Genesis, or do you prefer the original? So I think I'm going to get a Retron 5 because I sold my CRT TV, which I'm regretting that now. Like I actually kind of just gave it away right before I left, right before I moved, because I couldn't, like when I moved, there are so many like things that I left in storage back in New York that were like important things, like, you know, sentimental documents, you know, all that type of stuff that I knew I would have zero space for a collection that was my size. So that's why I had to sell it. You know, I always get comments like, why'd you sell your collection to buy it back? Well, I sold a lot of it because one, I felt like I got a fair price for it. And two, I knew that, so I'll probably share something with you guys that I haven't shared probably yet. There were pieces of my collection that were impulse buys, like parts of my collection that I got just acting on a whim. But deep down, I knew that these weren't pieces that I really wanted to have. And there were also pieces of my collection that I knew, like, if I knew that if I tried to break my collection up and sell everything individually, maybe 70% of my collection would have sold rather quickly, or 70% of the value of my collection would have sold rather quickly, but that would have been like a handful of like really expensive games. There were a lot of games that I had that were in like the 30 and under category that it would have just taken really long for me to sell just because, the market was saturated with those games. So selling my collection the way I did allowed me to kind of free myself up of a bunch of games that I kind of didn't want anymore, but I knew that if I sold those games separately, like if I sold those games on their own, they probably wouldn't have sold, or they wouldn't have sold as fast as I needed them to sell. And sometimes like you kind of, selling something fast is almost as good as selling something and getting full value, depending on what's going on. So that's kind of why I just kind of did it the way I did it. But in getting the collection back, like when it comes to consoles, I'm hyper focusing on the small version of every console. So if it's a Nintendo, I'm gonna try to get the smallest version of the Nintendo. If it's a Sega CD, Sega CDX, I'm gonna try to get the smallest version of the console. If it's a PlayStation 3, unless it's a backwards compatible PlayStation 3, I'm gonna try to get the slim. So I'm really trying to get the smallest versions, because I do like to play on original hardware. To answer your question, Skur, I'd rather play my games on original hardware. I've always been that way. But I think having a Retron 5 is a really good tool for testing cartridges. Like if I just want to test something real quick, then that would probably be an easier way to do it. Um, my Sony Bravia I got 3 years ago has coaxial port too. Yeah, like the older Sonys, some of the older Samsungs, are they still have those coaxials, so they're really good for that. Scott, what's going on, man? Said very clean. Also tried coaxial cable to HDMI converter. I've seen those. So I actually have a, it's funny, I don't even know why I have this. I'll show you guys this. I have a, where's it at? So I have one of these. So just when I thought I sold everything out of my collection, I realized that I still had this Sega Dreamcast RF adapter that I picked up from Retro Games Plus. So I still have this thing. So I think I'm gonna try to like piecemeal a Dreamcast console together, because the power cord for the Dreamcast is very easy to get, and you can get a Dreamcast controller for like 15 bucks on GameStop's website. So I think I'm gonna just look for a Dreamcast console pretty soon and just try to get that. I was gonna buy one brand new, but now that I have this guy, I'm like, I don't know, I'm rethinking it. Um, but yeah, so today was a fairly good pickup day. I am going to go and test out all of these Super Nintendo games right now. So I'm gonna be up playing not Super Nintendo, Nintendo. So I'm gonna be playing a bunch of Nintendo games tonight. But hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. I'll try and drop like a more edited video tomorrow, and I'll let you know if everything works. I've already opened up all my SNES cartridges, so I know they're all real. Now I just need to test them tonight and make sure that they all work. So I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. It's the Y2K Collector. You guys have